Hi, I'm Sam Staab, and I'm a defender for the Chicago Stars.
Hi, I'm Jameese Joseph, and I'm a forward for the Chicago Stars.
Okay, Mies, how would you describe the impact of being a pro athlete on your mental health?
I would say being a pro athlete comes with a lot of unique privileges. I think obviously playing in front of a bunch of girls that look up to you. I would say one of the hardest things is probably criticism outside of the sport and being able to take that criticism and basically use that and not listen to it, I guess. Okay, Sam, how have you handled transitioning through each level of the game, and what are the differences in the demands or pressures of each?
I think coming from club soccer to college, I feel like is a big jump. More so just typically you're like away from home, so it's kind of like a life change more than anything. And there's a lot of just like things going on where you have to manage your time and different stressors than what you were used to in club, because usually your parents are around for that. But I would say like the biggest jump between club and pro is just like the mental side of the game. I feel like you touched on before, there's so many external criticisms that you face in pro sports that you don't really get in college. And there's just so many people that have comments on your team, your teammates, you, yourself. So that is just like something different, and like that mental side of it, of like how to use it as fuel or to really like kind of keep it out of your mind, is a really big part of the game. I also think just everyone was the best of their college teams, and now you're just like a full team of that. So you're not going to be the best player on your team anymore. And that honestly is a struggle, coming to terms with that. You might not play as much, and just kind of let that jump from being so necessary on your college team to potentially not even playing or seeing the field or dressing is a huge mental battle that you have to find and fine-tune, honestly, in order to be successful as a pro. How do you handle the highs and lows of competition?
So I guess highs, celebrating with my teammates and stuff like that. That's always the best. I would say the lows, I try to handle it as best as I can in terms of blocking out like a bad pass or like a bad play or something like that. But I would say my support system really helps me. I would say the girls on the team help. Just keeping me positive, just like motivating me and telling me next one, as well as my family. My family's pretty hard on me, so I feel like their criticism can't get any worse than what I hear from other people, so I think I have a pretty tough skin because of them. How important is it to have a support system?
Oh, look at that, we flow right into it.
Would you mind sharing about yours?
Like we said, support system is, I think, the most important thing about mental health, or even like being successful in professional sports or really any sort of environment. I think having any sort of support system is so important. Me personally, I just went through like a big recovery. I was out for a number of months, and I think for me, getting through that as successfully as I did was all to the people around me, my teammates, coaches, the staff, my family and friends. I think a lot of people asked me what I learned about myself throughout that process, because I had never really been injured before, and I felt like I was gonna have like this huge mental toll of being away from the field. But truthfully, what I learned is like I have the best support system in the entire world, and they are so important to me, and to just, they invested in me in a time when I really needed them, and just to continue to invest in them is really what I learned more than anything. What do you do to get your mind right away from the game?
I would say I do many things, but one of the most important things for me is probably just relaxing. I know you like to do recovery. I'd like to do recovery as well, whether it's going to Lifetime and hitting like the cold tub or the sauna or the hot tub, but as well as like playing with my dog, cuddling with her. I think those two things are like key for me, and I'm kind of a lazy person, so anything relaxing, just laying in my bed watching movies is like great for me and for my mental. So I would say,
yeah, things just like away from the game. Yeah,
just
agreed.
like taking my mind away from it.
It's so important to have those, because you can't just be on all the time.
What's your advice to up and coming athletes from a mental health perspective?
I think we've touched on it a bunch of times already, but like having a really good support system and knowing who's there for you and who you can talk to about certain things is really important. Being a professional athlete, being a college student athlete, the stressors that you face are different from like a normal person going to school or in a professional environment. It's just different. We don't like have a normal 9 to 5. Yeah, you have to like work on the weekends and just like don't get as much time. So I think having that support system that like understands that instead of like pressuring you into something else is really important. For me, what's been really helpful is kind of like what Mies was saying, is having things outside of sport that makes me feel like a normal person, not just an athlete, I think is the most important thing, whether that be after training, before games, things like that. Just having
That normal.
yeah, just having like a bit of normalcy and just getting to hang out with people and just be Sam rather than being professional soccer player. I think that really helps like separate and compartmentalize soccer Sam versus like person Sam.
Because in college we never had that
Yeah,
as well.
and
we
I
were
think
always a student athlete.
exactly.
So it's like class
And you're like only a student athlete, so I think like in this professional environment, it's really important to like find out what you really like and what you enjoy doing and like invest in that and do the things that you really enjoy, because when you're here playing the sport, doing your job, like you have to fully invest in that persona or person as well. And lastly, I think like having a like mental performance person or someone that you can confide in. I think a lot of us had that in college. My club team even had it, so I've had like a mental performance coach person in my corner since I was like 14 years old. But I think that really helps to like digest each game or each like practice and be like, you know what, like it's really, you tried your best, that's all you can really do. And as long as you know that you gave your best, like people can't really touch you as long as you're like confident in the things that you're doing. So
especially I think being able to like move on from like the bad and not hold on to it for too long. I think that's really important, because if you do, then it's only going to push you further down, and like there's always going to be highs and lows in the game. So just being able to move on from it.
Hold yourself accountable and move on, and like finding ways to do that, I think is also like my third point. Always back yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself, back yourself, and
talk to people if you need to. There's always someone out there to talk to, and whether it's a teammate or if it's a performance coach, whoever it is, I'm sure they'll be happy to hear it. No one's gonna deny you or shut you down, so yeah.
Someone's probably gone through or felt the similar things that you're feeling or going through. So take care of yourself, take care of your mental health.
And be your best self. Way to go, Sam.